Today we're gonna be reacting to top 15 true scary Home Alone stories. So yeah, let's get into it.
Number 15. Alright, so these are 100% true. I'm not
Bro,
claiming it's supernatural shit, but I personally can't explain it. So about a week ago, my parents and little brother...
I can't hear it.
Number
There we
15.
go.
Alright, so these are 100% true. I'm not claiming it's supernatural shit, but I personally can't explain it. So about a week ago, my parents and little brother left to go overseas for a month, which left me at home alone. All was good. I had a few parties, but 2 days ago, shit started getting weird. It was around 5 p.m. and I was chilling at home alone when I decided to turn most of the power in the home off, microwave, dishwasher, etc. It was now around 10 p.m., so I decided to go to bed. My house
Creepy ass closet for FX.
is 2 stories tall, my bedroom is downstairs, everything else upstairs. So I fall asleep around 11, and when I wake up and go and eat breakfast at around 8 o'clock, I look over and see the dishwasher's turned on. Strange, because I definitely turned that and the microwave off. I passed it off as an error on my part and continued the rest of my day. Now it starts getting really creepy. I have some friends over till about 11 p.m., just drinking, then we call it a day, and I went to bed when they left. I woke up at around 8 a.m. to the sound of footsteps upstairs, wooden floors. At first I thought it could be my older brother visiting, but then I heard my computer turn on, which I know for a fact he doesn't have the password. Why would he
Maybe the ghost wanted to watch some Wi-Fi, you never know.
do that?
Maybe they wanted to listen to some Espo. Maybe some Itzy, who knows.
If he was gonna come down, because I know
Maybe
he
some
knows
new
that I was
jeans.
home alone. Like 10 minutes pass and I go upstairs and nobody is there. Doors locked and everything. But the computer was on. What the fuck? Now I was a little scared. I go
was
back
watching some
downstairs to
YouTube.
get dressed and I keep my iPhone on charged next to me on my nightstand. And when I went back down, it was halfway across the room with a crack on it. Number 14.
Oh damn.
When I was a teenager, I lived in my
Oh damn ghost. Broke his phone.
father's basement.
Y'all better come back to life and pay for that insurance on that
He would
phone.
frequently go on business trips, and I would be home alone in the house for up to a week at a time. One evening in spring, I was up alone watching TV at around 2 a.m. when I heard through the open windows what sounded like 2 distinct sets of footsteps outside, walking from the front yard, around the side, and into the backyard where they stopped. It was then I realized since all my lights were on, I couldn't see outside, but the outside could see me. I immediately
Could they now?
panicked, shutting off my TV and lights. So now I was alone in my basement with no lights on, with what I thought were 2 prowlers sitting on my back deck. I do not know how long I was frozen in
The
the
best
darkness,
burst flavor,
but
no
after I
question.
didn't hear any more sounds
No
for
question.
a while, I quietly crept upstairs to try to get a better look
Second
into my
favorite is sweet.
backyard. Thankfully, all the lights upstairs were already off. Unfortunately, with the way the bushes and patio umbrella were set up, there were large blind spots where it sounded like the footsteps stopped. I considered calling
I gotta charge
911,
this.
but when my father would eventually find out, I knew I'd be forced to stay
charge
with my
it right
aunt
here.
when he went out of state, so I stared at the deck waiting to see movements for at least 10 minutes before I began convincing myself that my
charger.
mind was playing tricks on me. I
There's
decided to
charger.
go investigate outside. I grabbed the
I'm
closest
in a taco fest.
an old shepherd's axe,
I want my candy sexy.
and crept around the side of my house, crouching beneath a bush. I finally mustered the courage to swing the axe into the bush and shout,
He
"Hey!"
said mustard.
Nothing would happen, right? No one
He
was
said
there,
mustard.
and I'd have a good laugh. May it be an embarrassed one. When I realized I was just
Why
being
would you walk up to
paranoid,
them?
Instead, I immediately
The
heard the
fuck?
sound of deck chairs scraping
The
on the wood,
fuck?
and 2 sets of human footsteps running off in the opposite direction. My heart stopped.
That's dumb.
I felt like I blacked out for a
ASMR.
second. Ran back around the side of my
Oh.
house in the direction I came. What was I to do? There was no time to
Okay.
think. I made it to my front door, swung it open,
I'm
rushed
scared of that.
inside, slammed it shut, and stood there in the darkness, practically hyperventilating. I stared out into the street, waiting to see someone leaving the property, but no one did. It was then I realized that now,
You
I
see
wasn't
how weird
safe
this
inside
looks?
my house like I thought it would be. I was trapped. So I ran out the front door into the middle of the street where I could
I'm
scream.
Like
Clearly by now I should have called the cops, but I wasn't thinking clearly anymore. Now I was facing my house, but I still didn't see anyone, so I glanced to the left down the street. Nothing. Then I looked right. Two male figures were walking away from me, a block and a half down the street.
Hey,
Just
how
as
y'all
soon as I
doing?
noticed them, they turned left at the T-junction onto the main road and disappeared out of sight. For some reason, I ran after them, and when I turned the corner, no one was there. They should have nowhere to go, and they would have only made it
So there were ghosts, huh? Okay.
about half a block if they were just walking. They must have had a car waiting there. I was 13. Number 13. My aunt was home alone when
You were 13, number 13. Very funny.
she heard someone open the door and walking in the hallway. Since her husband, my uncle, was not supposed to get home in a few hours, she went downstairs to see if someone was there. She did not see anyone, but outside the door she saw footsteps in the snow leading to the door, but not away from it. This got her nervous, and on a second glance, she saw an unfamiliar pair of shoes in the hallway. She ran up and called the police, and when they came, they searched through the house. They found a homeless man hiding in the storage room, holding my uncle's shotgun, but luckily he had not found the ammunition. It was hid in another place. He was arrested, but according to my aunt, is the scariest thing she's ever experienced. Number 12. I was home alone, age 12 or something, and I heard the sound of glass shattering from my parents' room. I cautiously walked in to see what was going on, thinking that maybe the dogs had knocked something over, but instead I was met with the silhouette of a guy climbing in through the window. He didn't notice me at first, and I was dumbfounded for a few seconds. Then I shouted for the dogs. We had 2 boxers at the time, one of which was a very aggressive guard dog, and they both came running. The guy looked up and saw me, but immediately jumped back out of the window. I was honestly hoping the dogs would chase.
What the What the is this? I've been into some hard ass shit. What the is this? What is this? Don't tell me that's a tooth. It ain't my tooth. You're kidding. Look at this shit. What the is this hard ass piece? I bit into this candy. And look at this shit. Right as I'm eating it, look at that. Like this hard ass piece. I don't know if you could like. I'm trying to wipe off like this gel on it, but it's like, what the is this? What? It's like a hard ass like something. I don't know what it is. What the fuck type of shit is this? What is this? What the I'm sorry, but what is this shit? No. What the Do I have any water? I don't. Okay, it's behind the fan. I can't get that right now. Oh my god. 2006. Bruh. So, what the? I just find in my Warheads candy. What? What is this? What? Oh, Angry Grandma uploaded a new video. That's good. But what is this? If I could, I'm gonna when I'm done with this, I'm gonna put this right here, and I'm gonna insert what that is right here to show you what this is. Can you hear it? Listen. Do you hear how loud that is? I swear that's a tooth. That's a tooth. Okay.
Window, but they stopped in the room and just barked at him. I eventually
If I find
went
another
back
tooth
out to
in this
check
shit,
it out,
I'm gonna be mad.
but the dude was long gone by then. My parents got home a couple hours later to a frightened kid holding a broom handle as a weapon with both dogs sitting around me. I didn't sleep well for the next few weeks. Number 11. When I was about 10 years old, I was at home when my mom went to the shops. I'd been in the living room watching TV before deciding I wanted a drink and headed to the kitchen. From the door of the kitchen, I saw a tall, thin outline of a man outside my back door and could see the doorknob turn. He put his hand through the dog door but was unable to reach the knob. He went after a few minutes, so I removed the key from the back door and put it on the kitchen table. I sat on the stairs in front of the front door until my mom got back, terrified. Number 10. One day while doing my laundry, one of my lights blew out in my basement.
Ugh.
My basement is set up.
They would show this scary ass photo with the laundry shit because I have something in the laundry and my basement looks just like that. Oh my god.
So that the laundry room is split from the
It's
other
all
side
old
of the
too.
basement with a wall and a door.
I think, how old is this house? I don't know, it's pretty old. Maybe 100 years old, I don't know.
Or, in order to get upstairs, you have to exit the laundry room and go through the other part of the basement. So the light blew in the other part, not the laundry room, as it was the only light on that side. It was pretty fucking dark. I finished the laundry I had to do while dreading the walk through
crazy.
the dark
I found it
basement.
too.
I exit the laundry room, get halfway through the basement, and I hear a loud cackle. Imagine the sound people make
when I'm done with this, I'm gonna rinse that off with some soap.
when they imitate a witch. Take that and imagine that the witch had been smoking for 50 years.
Wait, what?
Dark basement. I exit the laundry room, get halfway through the basement, and I hear a loud cackle. Imagine a sound people make when they imitate a witch. Take that and
I
imagine
don't like
that
that.
the witch had been smoking for 50 years.
Could you imagine doing laundry? Like, say if you have a basement, because I have a basement. Because it's a laundry room down there too, which is kind of scary, but imagine you go down there and you hear like laughing behind you. No. And there's no one down there? No.
Making
Absolutely
her voice
not.
deeper and hoarser.
Absolutely
is what I heard,
not. Nope.
clear as day. Right
Nope,
behind me.
I don't
I
manifest
did not
that.
hesitate to bolt
I
for the
don't
stairs.
manifest that.
I waited until my father got home and then changed the bulb. I have yet to hear the cackle since, and I've not told a single person in the house
I don't
about
like
it.
that.
Number 9. During the summer, I
like
tend to
that.
sleep on the couch in my basement because it's always nice and cool down there. So I was downstairs one
Because if that happened to me, I would be like freaked the F out. Like, because my basement is like, has flooding issues. And there's like nothing down there. Like, it doesn't have any furniture. It's just like boxes and stuff. So if I heard laughing down there, and I know there's no one down there, I would be freaked the F out.
night watching ESPN.
I would probably
and
never
at 2
wanna
in the
go down
morning,
there again.
We have hardwood floors upstairs, so whenever
I don't
someone's
manifest
walking on
that.
them, you can
I
hear
don't.
it in the basement. Well, that
Absolutely
night,
don't.
out of nowhere, I hear what sounded like my dogs walking on the floor above me. Problem is, my dog is sitting next to me, and I was home alone. Still don't know what the fuck that was. I've also heard whispers coming from the living room one night as I
No.
walked out of the room. That was fucking scary
No.
too. Number 8. Took a picture on my old webcam, and there was a
Oh,
black
no.
humanoid
No,
looking
no,
figure
no,
standing
no, no.
behind me. It absolutely scared
You see this shit? That weird ass fucking disfigured zombie black. Oh no. Ugh, it looks so weird. Ugh. But I've heard whispering in the living room too. Like when I'm sleeping and I'm on my side, I swear I heard like, and I was like, nope, I'm getting up. I was scared. I swore I heard whispering in my ear when I was sleeping in the living room one day. It was scary.
the shit out of me, and some other strange occupancies have happened since. I have a black cat, and it was walking into a room, and I saw it morph into the shadow of a human in one of the bedrooms. I went in, and the cat wasn't there. The weirdest, which I don't know
like
at this
that.
point is
I
real
don't
or
like
not,
that.
is when I once went downstairs, and all of the cabinets were wide open, and the front door
Please tell me y'all moved, because if you didn't move, what the
was
fuck
open also. I was
No.
home alone. Number 7. Well,
type of shit is that? Okay.
a few years ago when I was a
I'm done.
sophomore, I was home alone one night, a Friday I think. Now note, I live in the country, practically with my only neighbors being this
Country.
old couple next door, a middle-aged couple, and another couple with a 4-year-old. It was
Why is it always
approximately 11
middle-aged?
p.m. at night, and I was playing Xbox. All of a sudden, I hear a smack, smack, smack rapidly on my window above my head. Naturally, I freaked out and jumped up to see who or what did that. Opened the blinds and no one was there. No animal or anything. I tried to play it off as maybe raccoons or maybe rocks in the wind, but 3 hard smacks on a window don't make sense for rocks.
I'm nervous
To chill
now, I
off,
don't know.
I went to the office on the computer to do stuff, and not 5
And
minutes
it's
later,
winter. It gets dark really late now.
smack, smack, smack.
Really
on the
early,
window
I
right
bet.
to my right. Now I was fucking scared and got a flashlight and couldn't see anything out of the window. And I called my mom to tell her, and she told me to lock the doors and call the cops if need be. So I was goddamn terrified at this point and went upstairs to try to sleep or listen to music. Just as soon as I was ready to sleep, I heard wham, wham, wham on the side of my house and practically cried while holding a knife until my parents...
Now, see, I swear, I was watching this one Llama Arts video, and he was home alone with his brother, and there was this man outside, and he was outside with him, like, and the frisbee went to that man, and he walked up to him. He walked up to him. That is the dumbest thing you could ever do. That is the dumbest thing you could have ever done. If I would have saw that shit, me and my brother would have been in the house. I would have called the cops and been like, this bitch is outside, up in that lawn. You want to go outside and see that shit? You go outside and see that shit. I'll give you a description. I'll give you everything what he looks like. Now go get his little ass. No way in HE double hockey sticks would I walk up to him. You could keep the frisbee.
Anything outside other than some footsteps and a crack on the house siding from what seemed to be a big hammer. Never found out who or what that was. Also forgot the part where we found pictures of the house and a small sledgehammer in the woods. So yeah, that makes it 100 times worse.
No.
Number 6. I was stuck in a bathroom in a creepy house my family was staying at. I was home alone. You had to force the door into the jamb to get it to close and latch, only to find out that the knob didn't work the latch. I heard the side door slam shut downstairs. I thought my dad was home. I called to him. Dad? Dad, I'm stuck in the bathroom. I heard him walking on the hardwood, through the kitchen, down the hall, stopped at the bottom of the stairs. Dad, I'm locked in, I yelled. I immediately heard him run up the stairs and stop at the top. Once more I exclaimed, I'm locked in the bathroom. 4 more steps to the other side of the door. Dad? Boom! The door swung open and slammed into the wall. I stepped into the hall. I looked around. No one was there. No one at all. I politely said thank you and went straight to bed.
Thank you, my ass.
Number 5.
Thank you? Why would you say thank you? You don't know that freaking spirit could have ran right up in there and probably could have went right through you? No.
This
Thank you, my ass. I would have been scared as shit.
I was still living in my childhood home down in California.
You just chilling and the door slams wide open.
Home, so my cousin decided to move in so she could attend a college nearby. My cousin and I were both working at the Lego store at the time, but I only worked mornings and my cousin worked nights. So there were many nights where I was alone. A couple of weeks before this happened, I'd been taking stuff out of my car when I realized a strange brown van with no back windows parked across the street. As I put the stuff in the trunk, the man in the van started making weird noises at me. I turned to see if I could get a look at his face, but his black Giants baseball cap was pulled down really far. Thinking he was just a creepy guy, I flipped him off and went back into the house. About 2 hours later, I went outside to go somewhere, and he was still parked across the street. Not thinking anything of it, I hopped in my car and headed to my friend.
Hold on, let me try to look up that song that I want to listen to. Dum da dum da dum da dum da dum dum da dum 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 dum. Hey, hey, dum da dum da dum da dum da dum da dum da dum. Hey, hey, dum dum da dum 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 da dum da dum. There you go. Boom.
Appointments.
Change.
This isn't it. That is not the song I wanted.
In my car and headed to my friend's house. As I was driving, I looked in my rearview mirror and saw the same brown van following me. I turned on a whole bunch of streets and he followed me down all of them. I turned onto the road that my father-in-law lived on and parked, thinking if the guy tried anything I could just run in there and be safe. When I pulled over in front of my father-in-law's house, the van slowly drove by. I looked into the van and saw the man put his hands into a gun position pointed at me, like the index and middle finger out and the thumb pointed up, and said bang really loud. After that he hauled ass and drove off. Now I had always been a little leery of staying home alone. My house had always given me the creeps because of how poorly lit it was. When I was alone at night, I usually just stayed in the kitchen because of how bright that part was. I was watching a TV show on my computer when all of a sudden I hear a banging on the front door and the handle jingling. It startled me for a moment until I looked at the time and saw it was around 10 p.m. and knew my
That reminds me of when I was trying to get something in the kitchen, in the freezer, and the neighbors started blasting the stereo. Oh my god, my heart flew into my chest. It wasn't
cousin
funny.
would be getting home from work around this
My heart
time.
like flew
I
into
got
my
up and opened
chest.
the door, but no one was on the porch. I shouted my cousin's name out, but
It
still
scared
got
the
no
shit out of me.
response. I called my cousin's cell, and immediately she was like, "Oh hey, I'm on my way home from work right
There's
now."
super loud
Before I
bass
could say
out of
anything
nowhere.
else, there was
Like,
3 extremely loud
I was
bangs
like,
on the door that connected the kitchen and the garage, and the knob was shaken violently. I slammed the front door closed and locked and chained it, and ran
slam
from
it,
my
slam
room.
it.
My aunt called me while my cousin called the police, and I
Call
stayed there until
911.
my cousin arrived. When she came and
If
got
you're in
me,
the
I was
UK,
let
999.
outside to talk to
Call
the
999
I was
this
trying to
time.
explain what had happened, but the
Who
officers
the F are
along
you?
the
I'm
side
a
of
brat
my
when I'm
house were
bumping that.
distracting me. I
Hey,
walked
you
over
wanna
to
hear my
where
track?
they
Are you
were,
bumping
but
that?
one of the police officers held
To
me
the
back.
windows
They
crack, I'll be
opened the
bumping
gate
that.
and saw that the
No,
door
I
to the
never go home.
garage,
Don't
which
sleep.
we
Don't
always
eat.
leave
Just do it.
locked,
RP.
was
Keep.
wide open. All of the officers in the area pulled out their guns and went into the garage, but no
Does
one was
anyone else
there.
do this?
Afterwards, the police told me it was probably just some kids messing around, but if I ever get scared at home, just to call them and they'll send someone out. About a week later, I was watching something in the living room with my cousin. As I was passing by the window next to my front door, I realized there was a guy wearing the same baseball cap as the guy in the
Ew.
van standing outside on
No.
the sidewalk, staring at the house. When he noticed me watching, he immediately locked eyes with me and slowly gave me the creepiest smile I'd ever seen. I turned and yelled for my cousin to come see this, but when I turned
Hell
around, he was
no.
gone.
To
I
the
will say
no,
though that the
no,
baseball cap in question
hell
is
to the
really,
no.
really generic, and lots of Giants fans wear it, so I can't say if it was the exact same guy, but it felt like it was. 3 days after that, I was home alone at night again. I was on edge, but I was trying to ignore it, telling myself that I was going to be okay.
If I was her, I would hide in the bathroom. Get my charger, get my laptop, get a blanket, go in the bathroom, and sleep up in there with the door locked.
I was baking cookies in the kitchen when I
With 911 on speed dial.
thought I heard a knock
That's
on my
some real
sliding
shit.
glass door. My whole body tensed up and I
No.
slowly turned towards the door. The lights in the backyard were off and the kitchen ones were on, so the
the
glare on
same
the
guy.
window made it impossible to see if someone was
Watch, it's the
outside.
same
Everything
guy.
was silent for a few seconds
Watch.
before someone banged on the door again. I wanted to scream but felt paralyzed in fear. The person ran on the deck from the sliding glass door to the 2 windows in the living room and started knocking on them as well. They came back to the sliding glass door to knock and started trying to open the door. I
No.
finally came to my senses, grabbed my keys and ran outside into my car. I locked myself inside and dialed 911. We sold our house shortly after that. I still
That's
have a
good.
hard time staying home alone, even though I'm 2 states away now. Number 4. It was
Ew.
like 2 a.m. I took my clothes off and went to sleep. A minute later, something hit me in the head. It was one of my socks. When I take them off, I throw them in the corner of my room, so someone threw it back at me. But there was one in my
Ugh,
room.
I don't like
I was
that.
home alone. May not sound so scary, but it was for me.
like that.
No, there was no fans in my room, and no
Ugh.
wardrobes or somewhere
Ugh,
around
I don't
my
like that
bed.
photo
I have no
either.
explanation for this. Number
Ugh,
3.
it gives me
I remember a
chills. I don't
while
like
back
it.
when I was around 11 or 12 years of age. I was looking for my Nintendo DS.
Won't say,
I looked
don't say,
everywhere,
say,
under my
say,
bed,
don't
behind my
say.
pillows, on my shelves,
say.
wardrobes, and even inside of my bed cover.
See what
I
they
completely took off my bed covers, which were white, compared to my black DS, which would have been easily visible. I looked everywhere. I was pretty annoyed, and aloud I said, "Ugh, I can't believe I lost it again." I then quietly went to the bathroom. I was gone no longer than 60 seconds. I came back into my room and saw my DS opened right there in the center of my bed. I was spooked to say the least.
Low
All I could
battery.
muster was a timid thank you to whoever found my DS for me.
That's good.
Number 2, I have
Ooh,
a sleep talk
I don't like
recorder
that.
app on my
I don't
phone.
like that.
Basically, it only records when it
Ew.
hears sounds. So when you wake up,
Ew,
you have a
ew, I
bunch
hate
of
that
8
photo, I
to
hate
20
that
second
photo.
sound clips.
Ew.
Usually, they're the sound of me
Ew.
rolling around in my sleep. But one night,
Ew.
I was home alone. Parents were out, brother was at a friend's house. And when I woke up and listened to the recordings, I heard 1, 2 in what sounded like a German man's accent. There's no way I could have made that sound. Here's the recording.
No. I'm out. I'm out the house. Goodbye.
Number 1. This was about 5 years ago. My
Oh,
family was a week
I'm
away
scared,
from
I'm
going on
scared, I'm so
vacation to
scared.
Virginia Beach from our place in Canada.
scared.
We usually go there for a week in the summer to enjoy the beach and surrounding area. This takes place before we leave. I was home alone hanging up laundry out in the backyard around 9 a.m. and I leave the back door unlocked because what's the worst that can happen? My backyard has gates that are already locked, so I'm waiting for another load of laundry to finish in the washer before I hang it outside and decide to go play some Xbox in my basement. At around 9:30, I hear my back door
Don't show that
close.
notification,
My house has
please.
one of those alarms that beep whenever a door opens
I
or
don't want y'all-
closes, so I heard that
I don't want
too.
y'all knowing
I thought
who
it was my
I'm stalking.
sister coming back from her neighbor's place. Maybe I'll ask her if she can hang up the next load, but why would she use the back door? What's going on? Oh shit, is it? It was. I ran upstairs to see this dude standing in my hallway, shorter and skinnier than I am. I'm 15 at the time, around 5'10", 160 pounds. He's older, about 5'8", 130, 140. This is our exchange. What are you doing here? Is Anna here? There's no Anna here. What do you want? I was outside and Anna texted me and said I could come in, but the front door was locked, so I tried the back. I think you have the wrong house. He asked if it was 120 street next to mine. I said no, this is 120 my street. He said, oh sorry man, I must have the wrong house. We shake hands, he puts his shoes on, exits through the backs, hops my gate, which he breaks, and tears off in his car. I ended up calling the police and told them the story of what happened. Their investigation came back with the information that there was indeed an Anna at 120 street next to mine, but she was 6. Got an idea for a top 15 list? Be sure to leave it in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe for
What the fuck? Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed me reacting to the scary reactions. Stay safe, lock your door. You know, run into the bathroom if you have a chance. Lock the door if there's lock. Barricade the door. Get your charger, get some food, get some drinks. That's the best place to hide, honestly. If you're scared, get some blankets. Get an inflatable, small inflatable air mattress. If you can, put it in the bathtub. You know, shit, you never know. You can really make a bang out of a small place. You can. That's a $2,000 apartment in New York. So get an air mattress. If I suggest hiding from like a crazy person and you're scared to be in your house, go in the bathroom, lock the door, get necessities. I would say get some blankets, get like some pillows, get an air mattress, put it in the bathtub. You could lay on it. You know, get your chargers, get some food you would want to eat, and then hide in there until whoever you know gets back. That's some smart shit right there. See, I have the mind of a master, master of a mind. Alright guys, thank you for watching.